Hello, thank you for tuning in to Brandy Lloyd Personal Training and Holistic Nutrition. I'm going to let this one just fly right off the cuff today because I received yet another offer to peddle basically products to my clients. You know, fat burning supplements, carbohydrate blockers, metabolism increasers, peel and stick wrap to, burn the fat off bellies and buttocks and thighs and arms, and chemically filled protein shakes and all sorts of stuff. And as a nutrition professional, certainly, they wanted to offer me these wonderful products so that I can, sell them to my clients and earn some extra cash and grow my business. As a health and fitness professional, I have developed over the course of my career a discerning eye. I know snake oil when I see snake oil. And it's usually just rather frustrating, irritating. I hit delete, move on. If they're calling me, I block them, or, whatever. And that's about it. But today it was really bothering me because I actually saw several people that I know that are just friends that like these products and are, I hesitate to use the words investing. They're spending their money on some of these products. That bothers me because these people that I'm referring to, they're not nutrition professionals, health professionals, or personal trainers. And I think it's a little bit more difficult to read between the lines. So I want to break down a couple things and just encourage you. Just in a nutshell, there's no quick fix. And the truth of the matter is I'm going to make this kind of brief, but over the last 60 years, through modernization of agriculture and food production and industry, we have chemicalized ourselves. It's not just a matter of willpower. I'm currently reading an amazing book. I have quite a bit of knowledge in this area, and so I was excited to finally get the opportunity to read one of the New York Times bestsellers by Michael Moss called Salt, Sugar, and Fat. And it's looking at this very thing of the food industry and what's happened. And let's talk about it. It's industry. It's money. It's about the bottom dollar. It is not about your health. So sure, there's big pharma. Sure, there's our own government with subsidies, which my husband and I were just saying, gosh, when we were in high school, we could go to Jack in a Box and get a 49-cent taco or 2 tacos for 99 cents. Isn't it funny that we graduated in the 80s and the price is still the same? Now, how does that work out? Gas isn't the same. Groceries aren't the same. Yet fast food is still the same. Candy bars are pretty much still the same because they've made them larger and they're the same price. Pretty crazy. And something that is not so shocking when you think about business, and I really feel that our government is also a business, is that fast food companies, processed food industrialists, even a lot of the agriculture and how things are grown with pesticide use and GMO, our government subsidizes them. So maybe if they weren't being subsidized like a lot of our certified organic farmers and our hardworking ranchers that are moving their cattle along so they can just graze and poop and pee and move on before the ground is ruined, all of that, they don't get subsidies from the government. So the prices are a little higher. Right? So it's really frustrating from an educated perspective when I see some of these products roll down the pike that appear to be health-minded, conscious-minded, because I would say that most of the people that I meet in life, they're not just idiots walking around just blindly eating. Most people really do try and make an effort and of eating good, and they just, I'm going to cut down on soda, or I'm not going to eat fast food, or there is this desire for people to improve their eating, which is basically why I'm in the business that I'm in, is because I am educated and passionate to help people do that. I like providing the accountability and the education and giving people the tools and empowering them to move on. These products, and I'm not going to name names, but the latest one to reach out to me, and I've seen several times, and now it just has a new name to it, is they are appealing to what Americans are hooked on all the time, and that's vanity first. You know, let's lose those 10 pounds or 20 pounds or whatever, and just do it. And there's a small price point on it, and people put their money behind it. And, you know, I got to say, sometimes they do work. They really do work. But it's typically just water weight, and you have been walking in a real restricted kind of way for maybe like 10 days. I mean, even most alcoholics can go 10 days if you had some sort of big reward for them for not drinking, right? I don't know about drug use, but I can say I've seen alcoholics do it. They can really hang on for 10 days and then they know, you know, that, all I got to do is for 10 days I have family, or it's the holidays, or whatever the situation is. So when I see you again in 45 days or 90 days after you've done one of these whirlwind chemical programs, the wraps, the shakes, I love when they use the words natural on them, or which means nothing. It literally means nothing. When I see these people again in 45 days or 90 days, it's back. You just threw your money into the wind. And here's the thing, is that, yeah, you got fat. Yeah, you got unhealthy. Yeah, you jacked up your hormones. Yeah, you jacked up your blood sugar. You've got anxiety. You've got IBS. You've got fibromyalgia or chronic pain or depression or whatever it is. And I just want to encourage you and say, you know what? It's not just about willpower. It's not just that you're just a lazy person that doesn't go to the gym anymore, that you're not motivated, and that you're just not as good as the rest of the healthy people that you see walking around. It's not true. You've been playing an unfair game. Even if you've been buying products like Lean Cuisine or doing some of these other frozen deals, and you're trying to really calorie restrict, or you're following the pyramid guidelines that the government lays out, they're not designed for you to win. They're not. They're actually making your cravings worse. And the chemicals and the preservatives, the toxins, the additives, the coloring, the natural this and natural that, that's screwing up your hormones. It's really messing you up. And your digestive system is no longer even working properly anymore. Most Americans are walking around with a little perforated digestive tract, which means some of the foods that they are eating are actually going through the lining and entering the bloodstream. You know, hello, autoimmune disorder. Because now your body's like, what's all this foreign business doing in my bloodstream? In a constant state of inflammation. So I don't want to get too wound up about it, but I'm sure you can hear in my voice that it was just one too many today I got in my email box. So I want to give you some things, or remind you of some things that you can do that aren't going to cost you any additional money. You don't need, we talked about it just on the last podcast, a podcast about buying the certified organic. And I still really mean that. I still really mean that we need to get those chemicals and toxins out of your system so that you can start thinking clearly and being less affected, and you can make better choices. And along those choices is just decide that you're going to be a clean eater. If you don't know what that is, look it up. What's clean eating? I'll tell you real quick, it's not processed foods. Not processed foods, or very minimally processed foods. I believe I shared with you that like Simple Mills is a food industry company that uses non-GMO and organic products, and they make like crackers and stuff. I got to tell you, I'm not making homemade crackers, around my house. I'm not doing that. So I'll fudge over a little bit, and I will buy the Simple Mills. It's just one brand that has all whole food ingredients in it. They're not putting anything else in there. And short of spices, they're typically just around 4 ingredients. You start throwing in the different herbs and spices, then it starts to make a longer list. But the meat of the actual product is typically just 2, 3, or 4 ingredients, and that's it. So become a clean eater. It doesn't cost you any money to do that. It is a decision that you have to make. Most Americans don't cook dinner anymore, or breakfast anymore, or lunch anymore. We were sold a bill of goods when the modernization of the food industry came about, and all of the mamas, went to work, and the convenience, the convenience of it really hit home. Why stand in the kitchen and make all these meals when we could just swing out to a restaurant or buy frozen foods or even fast foods, right? And they started making fast food frozen foods. I don't even know what to call that. So anyways, you have to make that decision, and make that decision in the clear light of day. Organize yourself and go to the grocery store and buy real food. If you're short on time, do like we do in our house. And we pre-cook a lot of things, my friends. We really do. When my husband, there's only 3 of us that live here at home now, we don't need to barbecue 6 chicken breasts and a pack of turkey burgers that he hand makes, or beef burgers, or whatever it is. But he will, and throw them all on the grill, and we want for dinner, and we throw the rest in the fridge. And we can heat that up at another time. There's great recipes. There's all sorts of different meal plans. There's different eating styles based on your own health needs. These little quick fix, temporary snake oil products, they don't know you have IBS. Maybe you don't know you have IBS. They don't know you're in adrenal fatigue. They don't know that. You just keep wondering why you just can't get rid of your belly. Is it because you're 43? What's the deal? Why can't you get rid of this belly? You go to the gym all the time, or you starve yourself, or you go on this diet or that diet. That's where it gets a little bit more tricky. And that's why working with somebody like myself is often very, very helpful. And even then, it's not a quick fix. We got to do a little field test with different foods. Maybe you can do dairy, maybe you can't. Maybe you can do little berries, maybe you can't. Maybe you can have rice, and I know I can't. The whole grains, I can't. It's something that we work through together on a case-by-case situation, and we try a lot of different things. And I tell you what, when things start lining up, those flashy snake oil ads, they don't catch your attention quite as much. They can't give you the great energy and the skin and help you grow your hair back if you've had hormone issues, whether it's perimenopause, menopause, or adrenal fatigue or anxiety or whatever. They can't help you sleep better at night. They can't increase your libido, right? They can't help with your mental clarity, but they can temporarily get some water weight off of you. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to throw that out for you and remind you that you don't have to go spend a lot of money and buy these things. You just need to eat clean, my friends. Eat clean. If you do have health problems, if you are suffering symptoms, which it's not a bad idea to sit down and not to be a complainer, but to sit down and really kind of inwardly and maybe with a pen, evaluate your health. How do I feel when I wake up? Am I full of energy? Am I ready to wake up? Am I groggy? Am I starving? Are my muscles tight? Am I sore? How do I feel after I eat breakfast? What do I eat breakfast? When do I eat breakfast? Am I just sipping a Starbucks coffee in my car and maybe one of their breakfast sandwiches? How often do I think about food? Do I ever really feel full, or am I always just kind of thinking about what I should eat, even with my brain, not necessarily my tummy growling? How much energy do I have? What are my bowel movements like? Are they like little pebbles and rocks? Are they diarrhea-ish or almost diarrhea-ish? Does your poop float? Woo! There's a whole conversation on poop that we can have, right? What's your urine look like? There's so many different things. How do your joints feel? What's going